Hello everybody, I am Jarrett Ross, the Genie Vlogger, and welcome back to another Professional Genealogist Reacts. On today's video, I will be reacting to reading my Ancestry DNA results. I've been lied to my entire life by RETV. Now this video is from 6 years ago. I looked at this channel was only around for a short time, so they haven't posted anything in years. Don't even know if they're still doing stuff on YouTube under maybe a different channel or something. But this video actually had millions of views, and I was a little skeptical because a lot of these videos that are a few years old, especially like 4, 5, 6 years ago, it seemed like it was a common thing for people to do DNA tests and like aggressively misunderstand them, which I think we've seen in a lot of the reactions I've done over the past few years, honestly. But then when I looked at the channel, it seemed like maybe there was actually a bit more going on than just misunderstanding the admixtures and stuff. So I thought this would be a really interesting one to watch. I haven't seen the video, but I do have an idea of what the surprise is going to be. So with that all said, let's jump into the video.
Hey you guys, my name is Ariel. I wanted to come on here today and I wanted to document my DNA journey. I used Ancestry.com. I know there's other companies, 23andMe, Ancestry.com, and a couple others that I probably never heard of. But I've seen a lot of people doing it on YouTube, and I thought it's really interesting to see how people thought they were certain things that their family was telling them, and then it so happened to be they weren't that. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of background information on me. Growing up, my mom would always tell me that I was everything that she was. For instance, so my mother's side, she is German and English, and she's Polish. So on my father's side, she would tell me that I'm Hispanic, Portuguese, Cherokee, Indian, and French. You know, when I would confront...
Sounds very much like a Louisiana sort of ancestry, a typical Cajun Creole sort of thing, possibly. Because that's, you know, that's very typical sort of mixture.
My dad on it, and I would say, hey, Dad, are we Hispanic? Are we Portuguese? He would always tell me, no, sweetheart, we are 100% Italian. I know where my roots came from, and I know. So people would always stop me growing up or on the street or at work or a new job. People would always stop me and ask me. They would say, Ariel, are you Hispanic? Are you sure you're not Boricua? Blah, 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 blah. And I would say, I feel like I am. I think I am. I look like I am. But for some reason, my mom says I am, and my dad says that I'm not. I decided to purchase the test, and I let my dad know, and he told me that he actually got the test done a couple years ago. So I thought that was really cool because I didn't even know that Ancestry.com was around for that long. So I purchased the test. So the next day I mailed it out, and you have to wait like 6 to 8 weeks. So I've been checking recently, and it actually says that my results are in today. So I'm really, really excited to see what it is, and I just wanted to bring you guys along for my journey. Okay, so here it is, you guys, my DNA results. Oh my God, I've been waiting 8 weeks for this. Okay. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So, Eastern Europe and Russia, which is Poland. Yep, that's right. That's what my grandpop is on my mom's side. England and Wales. My grandma on my mom's side is English and German. There we go. French. Now, my mom said that I had French in me on my dad's side, but like I said, my dad said that it's not true, so I have to compare. But she told me I was French, so that's not a shocker. Ireland and Scotland is 7%. Okay, I didn't
part
know
of
I was
Northwestern
Irish
Europe
or Scottish, and I don't.
Part of that English ancestry fits right in with the England and Wales, part of the Northwestern Europe thing.
I don't know which one of my parents is. Mali. What is Mali? All right, this is fucking weird because it's like I'm 4% Mali from Africa, and I don't know. I don't think neither of my parents are, so this is weird. Native American. Okay. Let's see. Oh, see right here. Native American, Costa Rica, Panama, Brazil, and then it says Puerto Ricans. So my mom was right about that, but I My dad swears he's Italian.
And she has that migrations Puerto Rican. So before I said Louisiana, part of that just being with the French element in there. That's kind of a big part with Louisiana. Considering that doesn't mean it has to be. And Puerto Rico definitely makes a lot of sense. But even back then, I guess this video is 2018 or whatever. Even back then, they already had kind of settings of what now I think they call communities or genetic groups. I forgot what they call it exactly, but migrations and those types of things are basically using the DNA matches. So that's saying that she's got Puerto Rican ancestry, and it makes a lot of sense with the percentages that she's getting, because some of that European stuff that I was talking about, some of the French, the Germanic Europe, the English and Northwestern Wales, all of that, any of that European, really, you could tie as possibly being part of the Portuguese ancestry, Puerto Rican ancestry. But speaking of Portuguese, the Portugal 3% and the Spain 3% has a much higher chance, I think, of coming out of this Puerto Rican ancestry, since, she said her one grandparent was German. What was the Eastern Europe? Yeah, Polish. So one grandparent Polish, one grandparent from England and Germany, I think it was. That all sort of kind of fits together. And then with this other parent, they're the big mix.
Portugal, Spain. Yes, so my mom was right about that. So my dad is, I guess, Portuguese and Spain. And Cameroon, Congo, and okay, so the Congo is in Africa as well. What the fuck? Like, this is so weird to me. I didn't even know that I had this in me. Native American and Nigerian. And then it also says migrates Puerto Ricans. So I am Puerto Rican. Okay, you probably have relatives who were part of this migration in the past few hundred years. Your connection to these migrations is likely through your ancestry, Native American, Portugal, and Spain.
And a lot of Puerto Ricans get African readings as well, which is where hers is coming from too. And you can see with hers, I forgot exactly how much it was. It wasn't a whole lot added up, but it added up to maybe about 12% or 10% or something. Which I think is pretty typical of a lot of Puerto Ricans, maybe. But I guess if it's one parent who's Puerto Rican, then, maybe she does have a more recent ancestor, maybe like a second great-grandparent or great-grandparent that is majority African. But of course, being Puerto Rican could also be that a lot of distant African ancestors through all the various sides.
All right, my heart is pounding right now because I never knew that I had any of these things in me at all. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to my father.
We looked at admixtures, and we see admixtures all the time, these percentages, but all they give you is a blurry image of your ancestry. To truly understand and know your real ancestry, the story of your ancestors, you need to do the genealogy. And the way to utilize these DNA tests to do that is by DNA matching. And the purest form of that is having close relatives that you already know how you're related to do a DNA test, and you compare. If you match in the amount that you're expecting, then you are probably related exactly how you expect to be related, and that's what the DNA is showing. Now, if you're matching someone at an unexpected amount, or you aren't matching them at all, but you were expecting to match them, that means that something else is going on. So when I say an unexpected amount, let's say maybe you have a sibling and you both DNA test and it comes back that you're half siblings. Well, you both thought you had the same mother and father. You're only half siblings, then more than likely you only have one common parent and the other parent is different. And this is not an uncommon thing for people to find out when they do a DNA test.
This is the email that my dad sent me of his results that he took. So let's see. Europe, South, Southern Italy, 41%.
Oh, she didn't do DNA matches. She's just comparing to her dad's email.
All right, well, that's fucking weird because as you guys saw before on my results, I'm not even Italian, so that doesn't make sense to me. Europe West, Germany, 27%. Europe East, Poland, 11%. And Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, 9%. Okay.
The real thing that makes this so different from her results isn't quite as much that, he's got Europe South at 41%, Europe West 27%. Second of all, the results that she's looking at, those look like they're even older than her results, because I don't even remember when they kind of broke stuff down in this sort of a look. Either way, the biggest thing is more of these other things that he's getting. So he's getting Southern Italy, Germany in the Midwestern United States, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, and Lithuania. She did get that. But then for Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Ulster, Ireland, which I don't think I saw for her. And that's kind of the older version of the genetic community. It's not uncommon for a parent to have that found through the DNA and then the child it isn't found, but to have most of them not come up seems definitely more skeptical. But knowing her results and comparing to the father without having seen the mother's, it could be something that we look and go, oh yeah, actually, I mean, it does match up, not really that greatly because the Southern Italy more than anything, but for the most part, you know, she was getting fairly similar stuff. And, you know, you could say that the French she was getting, maybe that was somewhat representative of the Italian, along with some of that Germanic Europe, although that fits into Europe West. But his breakdown is a much older version than hers, I think.
So this is mine again.
Look at your DNA matches. Since her father tested in Ancestry, he should show up as her father. Since what she's seeing seems to indicate he's not her father, more than likely when she looks at her matches, she'll probably see a lot of names that she doesn't recognize at all, that probably are Puerto Rican, and are shown as very close matches that would be in a relationship distance that you would expect to know. Granted, this is from about 2018 or so, which is when the database was much, much smaller, millions of people, fewer that tested, and I don't know how strong the Puerto Rican matches were on Ancestry then, but I know in my experience, Puerto Rican matches can be hit or miss.
So I'm not even Italian and my dad is 41%, and it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like my heart is really, really pounding right now. Like my dad's not Spain or Portuguese, neither is my mom. He's not Cameroon or Native American or Nigerian. He's not Puerto Rican. Like my heart is really pounding right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I think I'm just going to end the video right now because I don't even know what to say and I really want to call my dad. So I'm going to end the video. Hey everyone, it's a couple hours later and what happened was, I wound up calling my dad and I told him all about the results. I sent him over my results and his results and we compared them, and he basically told me that he doesn't think that I'm his daughter. He told me that he always had an inkling, and now that we have the DNA proof, he knows for sure. But he told me that oh my God. He told me that my son and I will always be his family, no matter what. And when he said that to me, it just broke my heart. I'm 27 years old and I always known him to be my dad, and even though we didn't have the best relationship, I always thought that he was my dad. I never questioned it. The only reason why I bought the kit was because my mom was telling me that I was certain things, and like I said earlier, my mom was telling me that I was Spanish and I was Portuguese, and my dad was claiming that we were Italian. I always knew in my heart that I was Hispanic. I always knew that. And I think that's why I bought it. But I didn't know that I was going to get results that my dad isn't really my dad. So I spoke to my mom and she said he's not, but she's not able to tell me who is. I just want to know a name of who my biological father is. Do I have his personality? Do I have his smile? Do I have his laugh? And that's all I keep thinking about. It's really rough, and I wouldn't want anyone to find out this way. And I'm sorry that I did. I never imagined that if I got this son that I would find out that I wasn't my dad's daughter. I feel betrayed from my family, from the ones that did know. And I just feel hurt, just really, really hurt. I wish that someone would have told me when I was younger rather than waiting and not even telling me at all. It's definitely shocking and heartbreaking. But on another note, I am relieved that the questioning that I had all my whole life, the questions that wouldn't leave my head, are finally answered. So I am relieved because of that. So I'm probably going to be on a mission to find my biological father. So I will definitely keep you and everyone else, I will definitely keep you guys updated on this crazy journey of mine. All right.
Okay, so I just finished the video and I went over to her channel and I noticed that she has a next video called I Finally Spoke to My Dad. It's only 2 minutes and 46 seconds long, so I wanted us to watch this. Don't know if she talks about how she figured it out, how she identified him. Hopefully she talks a bit about that, but I thought it would be great to just keep in this video, not have a sort of a separate thing.
Hey you guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing really, really good, and I wanted to come to you guys and bring this great news and bring a great video for you guys. So
she has so much more energy and like just the sass in the way she's talking right now. She looks like she's on cloud nine.
The clip that I'm going to be showing today is me talking to my dad, my biological father, for the very first time. It was just crazy emotions going through me. I was just so nervous to talk to him for the first time, but it felt really good to actually hear his voice. That's one thing that I wanted to know. I'm sure you guys heard in the previous videos. I just wanted to know what he looked like, what he sounded like, if I had anything that resembled him. So we had a really, really good conversation. Here it is. So nervous. I was nervous. Let me clear my throat. Okay.
That's got to be such a nerve-wracking like moment, just like about to talk to my biological dad for the first time.
Oh my God! Don't do that. Hello, is this Eddie? Hi, this is Ariel.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Can't complain.
Oh, that's good. So that concluded our conversation. I just wanted to put a short little clip in there just so you guys can see all the emotions that were going through me, just so you can hear his voice. Okay. He was so nice on the phone, so respectful. I could tell that he's just very down to earth and just a humble human being. It felt amazing to get to talk to him. Basically, what we talked about everything that happened in the past, and we talked about actually meeting up. So right now, I am currently in a different room, a different background, and the reason being is because I'm in Philadelphia. I'm here visiting my friends and my family, and I found out by talking to my dad that he actually lives in Pennsylvania. So I wanted to come out here. My stay here has been, me coming here has been long overdue. So I figured, why not? I'm going to come out here, see my friends. I haven't seen them in like 2 years, see my family, and I really want to meet my dad for the first time.
Okay, well, that was a good set of videos. I realized looking at her videos that she has more videos, one of her meeting her father, and then another one that's the story of how she found her father. So I might have to do that one as a separate one. I would love to see if it talks about the DNA and the genealogy and how to find it, but I think this video goes to show a lot of things about DNA tests that I think are on both the side of things people should know and things that a lot of people that detract from DNA tests or think that it's, not real should know as well. So first off, I think the biggest thing being that anyone that does a DNA test should have the information of this test could reveal things that completely change your entire understanding of your family. And just like she had, you know, even little inklings of, you know, well, your mom's saying one thing, dad's saying another. Your dad even said that he had it over many years. Obviously, he didn't say anything to her. And then she even said, you know, she felt in her heart she was Hispanic and, you know, stuff like that. So it's like the inklings were there, but, you know, I think for a lot of people too, you don't always necessarily put those things together because it's just like, well, this is like this and this is like that and, you know, whatever. Then the DNA test comes and it proves without a doubt he's not the father. Now, I was a little disappointed she never talked about the DNA matches or looking at the comparison between her and her supposed father, the father who raised her, really. I guess I could possibly just call him the adoptive father in a sense, because, you know, even though he technically wasn't adoptive, he technically was because, you know, for many years he was under the understanding she was his biological daughter, but either way, he obviously adopts her as his daughter no matter what, as she said in the video. But I imagine the adoptive father didn't look any sort of Hispanic or anything like that. Granted, Southern Italian, maybe, you know, a little bit darker olive skin or darker hair or something that maybe she correlated to that. But knowing these DNA tests, you should always go into it understanding it could uncover all sorts of stuff. And even when I did my first DNA test and then had my parents' test, I remember being like, okay, this is finally it. I'm going to find out, are they truly my parents? Because, you know, I'm a ginger. Nobody in my immediate family is a ginger. The closest relatives I have are like second cousins and more distant. So there was always a question in my mind of, am I truly the biological son of my parents? And when I got my DNA test results back, I remember calling up my parents and being like, guess what? You are my parents. So we've proven it without a doubt. My parents are my parents. My grandparents are all of my grandparents. All of the great-grandparents that I know about are truly all of my great-grandparents. We've proven all of those. But that's not going to happen for everybody. And then the second point, which I kind of already hit on, is just that a lot of people will say that, you know, these DNA tests, they aren't real and they're fake and that, you know, it's all a scam and that, you know, you could just throw these results out because it's all a lie. And then you get stuff like this, which proves quite conclusively, not only is this not a scam and not a lie, but it can actually be used to then identify what the truth is. And while it's not going to be extremely specific where it's going to tell you this ancestor is from here and this ancestor is from here, it is giving you a broad, blurry idea of your ancestry. And for some people, having that is better than nothing. And that's all some people get. But for her, thinking she's got this Italian father and this mother who's Polish, German, Irish sort of mixture, and then, you know, she tests and she's getting all of this other stuff. Well, Ancestry would have no way of knowing that. They would have had to known all of these secrets to be able to like, okay, she's actually this, so we need to give her those readings. Because I see people comment sometimes, you know, they only tell you what they want you to think you are. People just think that, you know, oh, they sound very smart by telling you how it's all this big scam and this big conspiracy to do this and that and all these nefarious things. And not to say that there aren't people out there that could have nefarious motives for what they want to do with DNA testing and such, but it's not this massive conspiracy to get people, and this goes to show that it truly does work. It truly does uncover that. I do wish she had talked about how it happened. Obviously, she made a whole separate video, so I'll probably have to do a reaction to that. Comment below if you want me to do that. This was actually pretty great overall. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more reactions just like this, be sure to check out this one right here. Thank you to my Patreon patrons and YouTube members.